Hello and welcome to the FGandRZ podcast. My name is RZ or Aaron. My co-host, FG or Luke. Say hello.
Hello.
Right, and this episode is an exclusive Game of Thrones one that we're going to be doing for the whole final season of Game of Thrones. Also, if you subscribe to the channel, Luke will read your name out in the Saturday podcast that normally is going to come out like Sunday or Monday-ish.
Nice to know. I've just been handed a role.
Exactly. Anyway, let's jump into the first episode, Winterfell. Did you notice the new intro?
The new intro, oh my god, that was one thing I wanted to talk with you about. It was so cool.
Yeah, the new intro was actually sick. Like I was laying in bed, I was like lying in bed, and I was like, "Look at the intro! Look at the intro!" Like I was getting like proper excited over the intro.
The intro was so freaking good, especially the first pan of it going through the wall. And you see the tiles flipping, it kind of showing the White Walker's progress across the map. That part was so nicely done.
Yeah, it was smooth.
But they spent a year making that intro, to be honest, before we had the wait.
Exactly, and like the theme song that can never change. Like the theme song of Game of Thrones is just, it's legendary. It is like literally the best. Right. Anyway, right, so we're going to do a play-by-play of the actual episode. So we're just going to talk from start to finish of basically what happens in the episode. So it basically starts up and you've basically got some, like, I keep saying basically, you've got some army walking into Winterfell. It's Daenerys' army, and she looks. Don't you think she looked extremely stubborn at first? Like she looked proper, like high and mighty.
She, I don't know, man. She looked nervous. She did like you like when you like meeting your partner's parents or something.
I thought so. Originally, when I first looked at Snow, so all these characters are like coming into like the scene, you know what I mean? Yeah. But Daenerys and Snow are like hand in hand, like they've just basically got fucking married. Right, and Daenerys, yeah, she looks quite nervous but stubborn at the same time. Like, look at my expensive army right in this trash area, and then Snow's like bowling in, and I don't even know what Snow really looked like. He kind of looked happy, but Snow really never really looks that happy. So it was kind of like, I don't know how he felt. And then the camera like pans over to like Arya, and she's basically watching.
Arya's reactions were really cool during the scene.
Yeah, like
she really wanted to like shout out and stuff, and just held it in. It seemed really cool.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. And then you had all the other characters following him behind. And then why was Tyrion just chilling in a little carriage on his little? Well, he wasn't even on his bod, was he? He was with some people. But
I don't think I've seen him ride a horse. Maybe he just physically can't in the show. So
you know what? Maybe. So then from that part, Daenerys kind of gets a bit proud then because she sees her dragons. And how amazing do the dragons look?
Arya's reaction, man. The dragons look amazing, but Arya's reaction to them is even better. I think
it was so sick.
First time Arya's seen a dragon, and like everyone else is running, screaming, and Arya is like literally, and she's blown away by it. Like she's actually caught. Like it's to her, it's amazing, and I don't know. I thought it was really fucking cool.
Yeah, like
one thing about this episode as well, like there was so many similarities to season 1, episode 1. And it kind of felt like that's what they were going for. There was a lot of scenes that were very similar to it.
Okay, what do you mean by that, sir?
So, as we go through the scenes and talk scene by scene, it might like play out a bit for you. Like you might, now that I've mentioned it, like see it a bit. So I'll only mention the first scene so far, and then as we go through, like you'll see the similarities. But like I say, season 1, episode 1, when they're marching the army through Winterfell. Even the way Arya is, she's not with her family or with her people. Then she's also split away, as she watches the king and Cersei and everyone come in with their army.
Yeah.
There have a lot of throwbacks. Even the sex scene. Even the sex scene is similar to when Tyrion is in the brothel in Winterfell. Yeah. Instead, you have Bronn. Like I say, there's a lot of like throwback scenes to season 1, episode 1. Yeah, but like I say, as we go through, I'll talk about the similarities if you don't. So
Okay. And then it gets to the part where like Snow and Daenerys come through the doors, and Snow sees his family, and the first person he catches his eye on is what's the bloody name of him now? Bran. He jumps off the horse and kind of runs over to Bran, and it was kind of like
typical emotionless Bran,
like
probably my least favorite character now, but
so like Snow looked like really like he looked
happy
like
Bran,
like taken back, like he hasn't seen him in a very long time. You could tell like Snow immediately like runs to him, gives him a kiss on the head, and then Bran literally like
just shuts him down entirely. Yeah, I think it's
sure,
because
go on, sorry.
I think it's a mixture of like Bran like being like a bit more emotionally like fucking disconnected now, but also the fact that he also now knows that Jon isn't actually his brother. So it's also a little bit like that for him, I suppose. He doesn't really see the need for it, but yeah, Bran is my least favorite character now, man. He's so boring whenever he's on screen.
Yeah, and then as soon as Snow pans away from Bran to go down to Sansa to give her a hug, he makes the
weirdest eye contact with Daenerys.
He literally stares down Daenerys.
It's not just me that like he's looking at her as if like he knows he's seen her having sex before, some shit like that. Like it's the creepiest look I've ever seen, man.
And she looks at him like she knows that he's got her or something. Like she looks so uncomfortable. And then the best part is so Snow comes up to Sansa and he gives her like a hug, and then Daenerys kind of like walks over, like you know how like you'd introduce like your girlfriend to your family, like you literally like you're like hi guys, and then and then every single person there is eyeballing Daenerys down like they want to kill her, and it's like
such an intense scene. Just like it was so good though. It was so good, so uncomfortable. So it was very good. It was very good. Also, I just want to fucking make a note. I don't think Bran leaves that courtyard for the entire fucking episode. And I saw something about it earlier. There was like a page. It was like a GoFundMe page to get Bran a fucking ramp to get him out of the courtyard.
That's absolutely brilliant. That's amazing. Yeah, he was literally right. So where he's sitting, he didn't move.
I'm 90% certain he did. At least someone gave him a blanket, man. It's freezing out there. He hasn't listened.
You reckon the cast and crew just left him out there? There was just like, right, you need to play this character. You need to be that. You know how people are like, how people are like method act and they have to stay in character. Do you reckon the guy who plays Bran's like a method actor and he just sits there all day staring at people, making them feel uncomfortable?
That'd be horrific.
Oh, I'd love that, right? Anyway, so from that point, it goes on to their little like seating thing that they do, where they talk to the king and and some. I was literally right when they brought out like I don't know this little child out of nowhere, and he's like, "We need more horses."
Oh, we need more horses, sire. He does not come out.
Literally, I seen him and I was like, "What? He's like a leader?" But then again, like a lot of like
there's also the little guy.
Yeah. Who's also a leader.
A lot of people died, didn't they, in the Battle of Winterfell? So
yeah. So he's basically just like, we need more horses, and then they kind of have like a bit of a disagreement with Snow, and then Snow's like, I didn't ask to be king, and that's basically the quote of this whole episode is just Snow saying that he does not want to be king. But like the whole thing, I kind of get it, you know what I mean? Like he's obviously someone who doesn't really care about a title, and I think they put that across quite a lot, like throughout the whole episode. That go on, sorry.
No, you finish. I interrupted.
I was going to say they put out that these titles are extremely important, and then there's like two people who actually really don't care about these titles.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like Tyrion and Snow are more like these like characters, like they don't really give a crap about the titles. They just want results. You know what I mean? And like Snow, for example, like the entirety of the North is like very stubborn, and they only really want to follow the king in the North. And it's obvious why Jon relinquishes his title, and if they actually thought about it, they'd understand. You know what I mean? Like it's quite like it's actually a good move of a king. Like he gives up his crown so his people have a better fighting chance. You know what
Literally,
I mean?
and it's like I don't know if they just extremely believe in Snow's fighting skills or something, but it's like, okay, you can follow Snow, or he can bring back 2 dragons and 2 armies. It's like, yeah, exactly. All right, like Snow's not the equivalent of 2 dragons and 2 armies. Like him saying he's king is not. It's just it's not.
Even if the North, right, chose not to fight now because of it, the army that Daenerys has brought is still much more of a fighting chance than the army that Snow would have had, even if he chose not to bend. You know what I mean? To bend the knee.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, it's also, like I said, the episode in general, like how you were saying, he focuses very much on how he didn't want to be king. That's what I mean. Like I've seen a lot of people saying this episode's very like it's very disappointing and stuff. I really liked the episode. I thought it was a very good build-up episode, but more importantly, it did focus on the idea that Snow didn't really care about being king, or like and that titles don't really mean anything to him, and then they throw that fucking title in his face at the very end as well.
Yeah,
just to help emphasize the point they was making at the start.
Exactly, and it's kind of like the question is, I'll get to it more towards the end, but the question really is like, he's basically forced upon this role at the end, and it's still, is it Snow's character that is just gonna refuse this role?
I think
you know what I mean?
Like,
yeah,
I think he'll refuse it. I think
even
he'll try
though everyone there is gonna now say that he is the leader, he's still in his own head. He's literally a Captain America, isn't he? Like he's someone who fights for the people, and then the people stand kind of for him. I understand that Captain America is a leader, but you know what I mean.
Snow's a leader as well.
That's what I mean. Snow's a leader, but Snow is the kind of leader that he wants everyone to be on the even playing field with him. He's not someone that's going to stand behind. Same as the style of Captain America. He's Captain America's not going to tell people to fight for him. He's gonna fight his own wars, and he's gonna do it. Anyway, after the little debate that happens, Snow basically gets like roasted by the North. Like literally, he don't even know what to say. Tyrion's like, I'm fucking sick of all this shit.
Oh my god. Tyrion stands, he makes a good point, and then he drops it, and the Lannister army's coming, and he fucking knows the reaction to it as he's saying it, and it's so good, man. The actors are so good at like just portraying the emotion that they're gonna be feeling. Like I say, even before he lets those words out, he's scared to say those words.
Tyrion literally is like, I'm sick of this. Like you hear his little chair squeak, you hear his little feet touch the floor, and you're like, big dog's coming out now. He bows into like the center of the room. He gives like some big ass speech, and then he's just like, and the Lannisters are coming.
It's because he knows it's gonna just derail everything he's just said.
Yeah, but it is absolutely amazing, because it's like, I'm surprised they didn't go like, I'm surprised they didn't react a bit worse, to be fair. But then again, like, what can you do? It's already like, if you're saying you follow Snow and Snow's doing this, then all you can do is moan. Really, you can't really say fuck this, I'm out, sort of thing, because you've chose to follow him.
What gets me though is like, I understand why the people like feel that way, but like why Sansa feels that way is it blows. Oh god, that character. Whatever. We'll move on. We'll get on to that bit. What that character. Carry on.
Okay, then it pans over to Sansa and Tyrion having a conversation.
Every group.
Where they talk a bit about previous things that have happened. Joffrey and all that.
It's a nice little nostalgia kind of thing.
I was about to say, that was a nice little moment to throw it all back. It's actually really cool when TV series actually do that. Yeah.
When you see two characters who haven't seen each other for a while come back together, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's awesome, and I think a lot of TV shows don't do that. Like, for example, The Walking Dead never do that. Like, there was like one episode where Rick brings up Shane, but then from that point, that character's irrelevant to Rick's like life and everything, and it's just like sometimes you do need that kind of like moment where it's like
that throwback just to remind
just to be like, holy shit, yeah. Like that's cool.
And
anyway,
just how far the characters have come and stuff like that,
yeah, definitely. And then from that point, do they really say anything other than
that's more of a nostalgia throwback.
Yeah, other than Sansa saying basically that she doesn't think he's as smart as she used to think.
Well, that's just because of that. Nah, it's more of a dig. I think she still thinks he's as smart as he is, but it's more of a dig for her. Like, it's more of a hatred for Daenerys at this point, and like for the Lannisters in general. So, like, obviously, with the decision that like Tyrion is bringing the Lannister army down here, it's just more of a dig because, like, I think she still thinks he's as smart as he is. She's just a bit pissed because obviously she doesn't like Cersei. She's just a bit of bad blood,
a bit salty about the whole situation.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have I can't remember what the tree's called, so you're probably gonna have to. Does the tree have a name? The white tree that snows like?
Probably. No, I couldn't tell you. Just call it the Tree of Winterfell.
Tree of Winterfell with the little face on it, right? I think it's a sad face as well. I don't even know what kind of face it is. Is it a sad face, a happy face? I'm pretty sure it's a sad face because this show is quite. I don't think there's much happiness that happens really in this show. Right?
I could probably count it on one hand.
So anyway, Snow's kind of like chilling by this tree. Arya comes along. They have a sweet moment where it was him that gave her the sword, wasn't it?
Who, Arya?
Yeah.
Jon didn't give her the sword, I don't believe. I believe it was Ned that gave her the sword.
Was it Ned that gave her the sword?
I could be wrong, but I believe it was Ned.
I thought it was Snow, and that's why Snow was like, "You still have it," and then
it may have been. It may have been Snow. It may have been. It has been a while, but I thought it was Ned.
Okay, well, we'll go with you more because I'd probably say you're more of a fan than me on this, but. And then from that they have a little touching moment. She basically says,
"You are right. It was by Jon."
It was Jon. Oh, okay, cool. I own. Right, I'm yeah.
Props to you.
I was about to say, I give myself that. I give myself the credit for that one. And then from that point, we have a little boat scene, which don't really do much for me. And then. You have Cersei talking to that little boat boy. I did remember his name, and now it's just flew out of my head.
You on about the Greyjoy?
That's the boy. Yeah, and then he is a cringy ass character.
I love him. I don't know. I think he's really cool. He is a little bit cringy, but he's kind of like he's cool, and you'll be happy when he dies.
Yeah,
but at the same time, or if he dies, but like he doesn't. He's not. I don't hate him. I quite like the energy he brings on in scenes.
You know what kind of like character he reminds me of? He reminds me of one of them characters that don't attack you, and that kind of like, okay, so imagine like you're in a room, and like obviously you could kill him, right? Okay, right, let's just set the scene, right, so it's a bit easier to understand. Right, this is how I can imagine this character is, and this is why I don't like these kind of characters. They annoy me, right? So imagine, right, Snow, this Greyjoy boy is in the Snow, Daenerys, and he is in a room together, right? He would not try and intimidate Snow. He would try and get up and close with Daenerys to make Snow react. Yeah. And it's like, you should just die for that reason alone.
You should die for that reason alone.
He's a slime ball.
He is a slime ball.
And like, he just makes me cringe.
His only goal seems to be getting laid.
Literally, right, and he gets it as well. Like, and he gets it.
Well, I mean, it wasn't the kind of sex she'd be happy with. It wasn't pity. It was more persistent nagging. Give me sex, give me sex, give me sex, give me sex, kind of thing. Like,
I was pretty surprised that he actually got it though.
I was blown away. I thought she would. I thought she was gonna fucking kill him. If I'm being honest with you, when he genuinely thought she was taking him back there to kill him. Like I did.
Yeah. So I thought she was gonna do something like.
Did not think he was gonna get it.
Yeah. Then it pans.
Starts tooting his own horn after as well.
Yeah. Then we get a little scene with our boy Bronn, where he's with 3 women in a bedroom. What is this little bow that he gets? What's all this about? I pretty much miss this. He gets basically he starts his little, you know, kinky time, and then that dude, and he's just like, you know, I'm trying to like get it on in here, and basically the women leave, and then he gets given this bow and gets told to do something.
The crossbow. So the thing with the crossbow, I believe when he was saying it's poetic justice, I believe that the crossbow may have been the crossbow Tyrion used to kill Tywin.
Okay.
But either way, it's still poetic justice that he wants. That you know, he's just going to be killing them with a crossbow or a Lannister crossbow. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I believe that's what the reference was to.
Okay, so who's he been told to kill? Who's he killing?
Jaime and Tyrion.
Oh, okay. So definitely, like, you reckon he's gonna kill Jaime? You reckon he's gonna kill Tyrion?
It would be a twist. It would absolutely be a twist. Whether he does it or not, I don't know. I have no idea. He is, you know, promise him some bitches in a castle. You never know. It could work out for him.
Him in this fucking castle that he wants.
It's I don't know. We'll wait and see. It definitely set up like a moment in future episodes, I think.
Okay. And then we get a jump straight back to Cersei and I forgot his name again. What's his name? Hit me with it again.
Who's this? Sir Gregor.
The little guy that I hate.
There's a lot of characters that we hate in this show, Raz.
No, the boat boy, the boat boy that.
Greyjoy.
Yeah, right. So it pans back to him. He basically says, "I'm gonna put a little baby in you." So I mean,
that part made me laugh. That part did make me laugh.
I'm gonna pop a little baby in you, and then she's just like, "I'm gonna drink myself to death tonight."
See, I don't even know the react. Like, I wasn't sure what kind of reaction she gave, whether it was like a happy one or a disgusted one. Like, I couldn't quite make it out.
I think that's the idea of like yeah. So I think that's kind of the idea of Cersei. It's kind of like when the camera pans over, she gives this look, and it's like, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, what is actually going through your head right now? Do you want him dead? Because I've seen you kill people with that kind of face, or do you love the guy? Because I've seen you love people with that kind of face. I don't know where you're going with this kind of thing. So with that, you know, she just stares into the distance with a with her bottle of red wine and her glare. Then we jump over to a boat that's being attacked.
Yep.
And then nothing massively happens on this like scene really. Like, not a lot happens. You don't see any fighting really. It's just
not really the fighting as much as it's just kind of like the entire scene itself. I think it's just more kind of showing that Theon wants to actually make amends for like his past mistakes and his past wrongdoings against the Starks, and he wants to fight alongside them because of it. At least that's the idea. That's the impression that I got from it.
Yeah, that's basically what I thought. I thought the effects, well, not even the effects. The art behind, you know, the kill that he does with the axe, and he pulls the axe out the guy's face, and that guy's face is just mashed like that. I was like, Jesus, like that looked absolutely amazing.
I didn't really pay too much attention to that little bit.
Well, I see, like kills and stuff I love in like shows, because I like to see.
That totally does not sound weird at all. By the way,
no, I like to
love watching kills.
Like I like to see, I like to see how it looks like. You know what I mean? I like to see like
digging that hole deep in our ass.
I know. I'm pretty much right. So anyway, he saves this bird. I don't know her name. Do you know her name?
What, his sister, Asha or Yara?
There you go. Right, either or. Right. He basically says, "I want to make amends with Snow and fight for him." She goes, "Go do it." He goes, "Catch up with you later." And then it jumps back to Winterfell, where Tyrion is talking to the bald guy and the old guy. I can't remember the old guy's name.
Bald guy.
Yeah, the bald guy.
Old guy.
I
know who you're talking about. I was just quoting.
I can't remember. I can't remember. I can't remember like who he exactly was, or what their names are.
Davos is the old guy that you're talking about.
Okay, he's cool, right? He's got like a mysterious look, right? I've got the guy's name, Lord Varys.
Varys.
Him.
Varys.
All right. I hit you with Varys, right? Him.
What have you heard that name in this show?
I don't know. I don't fucking know. Right. So So anyway, right. I apologize, but basically, right, they're talking shit. I reckon he's dead like straight away, right? So
I don't think he'll ever die. But
you actually don't reckon he's gonna die?
I mean, at some point in his life, yeah, but not.
You don't think he's gonna die in the show? Oh, I do.
No.
I reckon the final episode's gonna be like a slaughter. I reckon so many people are gonna die.
Maybe, but I don't think he'll be among them.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, he's a cool character, but his significance seems to have dropped quite a bit in the latest few seasons.
I just think he's as cringy as Littlefinger was.
Nah, Littlefinger was slimy though. This dude's
this guy's just.
This dude,
I think he's just. That's what I say about him.
I like his banter with Tyrion.
No, I think I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you know,
I don't know.
We'll see. We'll refer back to this episode when either he survives or
he's gonna die, right?
We'll see who is right.
Then, right, they're talking about basically Daenerys and Snow joining hands to basically rule together, and then the camera pans over to Snow and Daenerys. And do you reckon they got told what to say in that scene, or did they just get told they were going to be filmed? Because honestly, Snow looked uncomfortable, and she just looked awkwardly happy, like they were just having a normal civil conversation, like off camera.
Yeah, you mean when it panned like super far away from them, so it was still Tyrion's conversation, but they were just being filmed in the background.
Yeah. I'm pretty certain they didn't.
I reckon. I don't know, but I reckon they just said, just stand in the background and just like look like you're busy. And I reckon they were just talking about random shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because she looked like Snow just looked like he was just talking about I don't know, a film that he's recently gone to the cinema and watched.
Yeah,
and
exactly. I can't wait for that. Like
literally, right? Literally, and Daenerys was just kind of like smiling, like you would with like you would with like a friend. You know what I mean? When you're trying to act like interested in what they're saying, you just smile. That's kind of, and then it pans and you get a more I keep saying it pans, and then it jumps over to Snow and Daenerys walking, and there's a more serious Daenerys like immediately. And I was like, where did her smile go? Like, did he tell her like a joke or something? And now the joke's just not like
a Wayne joke or something.
What joke?
A weight joke. What did you think I said?
No, I thought you said like a weak joke or something.
A weak joke? No, I said a weight joke because she's a woman, and you just said her tone went from happy, giddy laughing to serious.
You know what? You're right. Could have been a weight joke. Could have been.
I think it's up there.
I reckon he mentioned something about her outfit, and then she was like, "It's the only outfit I've got."
Mate, I see. Even though, I think, man, I've only seen her in that outfit in the past. Like, how many seasons? I fucking love that outfit.
That outfit is cool, right? And I want to know who does.
Wasn't it black initially? And now it's was it white in Snow, or is it actually just white now?
I reckon it's one of them, them outfits where like you rub it one way and it's one color, and then you rub it the other way and it's a complete other color.
I cannot say I knew that was a thing.
You didn't know that was a thing? It's a thing on like cushions. You've never seen that? Where like nope. you stroke it one way and it's jet black, and then you stroke it the other way and it's like silver.
No, never.
Seriously?
I don't really shop for cushion cases, and if I did, I don't think I'd specify a color change in one.
Okay. Right. Anyway, right. So they're talking. What they're talking about. I don't even know what they were actually talking about. Anyway, some dudes come over and they're like, basically the dragons have had like, what was it, like 6 goats or something like that?
Yeah, it was I think it was more, it was 11 sheep and 6 goats something, and it was like, and I was like, is that how many they have left?
Yeah,
or is
that's
that,
what I thought.
That's how much
And
they
then
ate, and that wasn't a lot apparently.
I don't think they explained that really well either, because even Snow was confused. So she just like is stunned by that. He's like, that's dinner for days, and she's like, the dragons aren't eating, and he's just like, oh yeah, let's just run.
Man, I know what you mean. And I thought initially that like that's all the livestock they had to feed the dragons when they were saying it. I was like, oh, they're gonna starve. You're right. But then like it gets there, I mean, they just feasted. What do you mean?
Literally, like, yeah, and then, like, but then again, that's probably not a lot for them dragons.
How much livestock does that take? I think this was, let's say there's 11 sheep. That's 5 sheep each and a half, and like fucking, let's say 6 goats. That's 3 goats each. Man, I don't know. That's quite a lot. I don't know how much livestock you feed the dragons, but that seemed like a lot anyway. They're not eating. Like, you made it sound like they're starving.
Yeah. And then, so they run over to these dragons.
But maybe that was the point as well. Sorry.
Yeah. They go over to the dragons. The dragons look like they've just finished a cuisine. Like they are pretty happy. I wouldn't say they were miserable. You know what I mean? They look pretty jolly to see Daenerys and our boy Snow. Now I want to know where Snow, shops for his clothing, because his little like cape thing is baller as hell. I love that.
It is pretty fucking
like
badass.
If I could wear that right now, I would. Well, not right now because my room's pretty hot. But yeah. Anyway.
I don't think the outfit would look that great today.
You haven't seen it on me though, have you?
That's true. You got me. Maybe it would. Maybe it would.
Have you seen me in my poncho?
I don't want society to hold you back, but no, I have. Didn't even know you owned a poncho.
So I bought a poncho right back, like, I don't know, like 2 months ago. Right, I'll send you a picture of me in the poncho. Trust me, you're gonna be one happy boy. Right.
Highlight of my evening. Yeah, that's right.
You're gonna be a happy boy, right? Anyway, right. So we go back to Daenerys, Snow, the 2 dragons. So Daenerys kind of like strokes the dragon for like half a second, and then jumps upon the dragon, and Snow is just like awkwardly standing there while this other dragon's like its head is like bigger than him, like, please stroke me, and Snow's just like awkwardly like talking to Daenerys like, I have no idea what I'm in for right now. And then Daenerys hits him with the, have you ever rid a dragon? And he was like, only you, baby.
I don't think that's what he said. I don't think that's what he said. But it would have been cringe, but also been good kind of cringe. It would have made me laugh.
That would have been amazing.
I think there was already like a fucking cringy joke in there, like something sexual. I don't remember what it was. Oh my god, yeah, it was when she said something like, he was like, it's cold down here for a southern girl, or something. She said, well, why don't you warm me up there?
Yeah, I literally was like, hey. Like...
Lamar.
So we'll go back to the dragons. So basically, she's like, have you ever rid a dragon before? He's basically like, only you, my girl. He don't actually say that. He basically just cowardly says like, I don't really want to. Kind of thing.
Missing opportunities.
Yeah. And she's basically like, well, get on. And he jumps on and he's like, where do you hold? Now, where would you hold on the dragon?
I just fall to my death, I'll be honest. I feel like if I held something that I wasn't supposed to, I'd get bit off immediately or thrown off or something, man. I'd be so terrified. I think I'd still have to hold on to one of the things that Snow held on to.
I don't
know what it was. I think it was like a weird spike coming out of it.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, I'd say...
I think it's to help it fly.
I'd say like it's scales sort of thing. Like it goes down his neck and he's got like multiple of them. It's kind of like his spine. Yeah. Like his spine like comes like maybe through his back. I don't know, right? Anywho, right, this...
I want to say it helps it fly.
You know what? We'll go with that, right? This was probably the highlight of the whole episode for me anyway, this little dragon part. This dragon part was perfection.
Nah, definitely not fun. I thought it was cool.
I loved this part in the show just because you kind of like, I don't know, when you like you watch him like take flight for the first time, but you see everything and it's just like, you know what, imagine being Snow in this situation. Like literally that's all I was saying when this was happening. I was just like, oh my god, like imagine it. So you know when Snow like hops on and she's basically like, just hold on, and he's like, to what? And she's like, you know, anything sort of thing, right?
Anything.
And then he grabs on and the dragon just jumps and he's in the air. Imagine the pull on that. Imagine the pull and the movement as that dragon just leaps and he's in the air. Like, you know, so you've obviously been on a plane, right? So you know, you've never been on a plane?
I don't like flying.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, well, this for you, perfect example. So, you know, on a plane like, as it's taking off, it picks up speed and then it lifts up and you feel the massive pull of the plane when, like, as it's going into the air. Well, imagine that just straight off the floor. Like, imagine the actual sheer force that he felt just off that alone. And then you've got the whole, you know, wingspan. Like, I wonder if you feel a lot of wind while he's flying, or if you feel like no wind, or if you just feel like a glide, you know what I mean? Because you're going really with his movement. I doubt you even like... Well, okay, to be fair, Snow's cape does look like it's proper rocketing around, so pretty sure he does take quite a lot of wind from that. But, like, can you just imagine, like, flying through the air on a dragon? Like, literally, imagine it.
I could not run.
Like, it'd be awesome. So they like fly through the air for a bit. They get kind of like a little I can show you the world moment, Aladdin style, like.
Yep.
And they're like looking at each other. They didn't really do much flirting with the dragons, but then I thought that's maybe a bit cringy. And they are like,
wait, flying with the dragons?
Yeah, I mean like aren't they like trying to do like little bumper cars or something? Like,
yeah, I got what you mean. I mean, it's a dragon, right?
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. But like, he kind of got the gist of the dragon. Like once it decided to do that giant dip on him, and he had to like fall like straight down and with a lot of speed. And then you know, he kind of got the gist of the dragon. He parked the dragon quite well. I like how the dragons are just kind of like parked vehicles when they park them. Like the dragons don't move. Like they literally land, and you would think they would kind of just, as an animal would, you know what I mean? Like an animal would just kind of, oh, what's over here kind of thing. Look over there. Oh, what's over here?
Well, I think it's because they're, well, I mean, I have to assume that the dragons are pretty smart anyway. And I mean, it's just a massive fucking frozen, like, I want to say wasteland. I don't think there's anything really over to anywhere to look around, is there?
Awesome. Yeah, you're probably right. But if I was a dragon, I'd have a little look around, you know what I mean? But maybe not. Anywho, right, so then they go to a little romantic waterfall. Was this scene really just so they could smash?
I don't know, maybe. You get kind of a mild throwback to the Snow in the Wildling. You get a minor throwback, but yeah, I don't know. I think it probably was.
Yeah, and then then they start kissing, and then they look back. And, you know, both dragons are just staring them down.
Staring at them.
Not to say this is Marvel or anything, but I got perfect Civil War vibes from that.
Civil War vibes?
Yeah, didn't you?
No, I thought it was like a little joke to when, like, I don't know, maybe you own like a dog or a cow or something, and you're trying to, you know, get busy with your partner. And the animal is like just staring, or it's like trying to get into the room.
You did not see when you seen them two. Falcon, Winter Soldier, back of the car, Captain America kissing that bird. They're just smiling at him, like looking at him.
Not in the same sense that I got from this.
I did, like, immediately. I was like, man, they just took that straight out the book. Like they just literally stole it straight from Civil War. Man, maybe that was just me. Anywho, after they obviously do the deed, you don't see them naked this time at all. They just jump over to a new screen. Goes into a forge area, and
I have to imagine that they didn't have sex there.
They
in that
defo did.
I have to imagine. I could not imagine how cold that would be, but
yeah, definitely. Definitely. And he did mention how cold. Yeah, what did they do? Where did they go? He literally.
Let's just move on. Let's just move on. I want to think about that just because I could not imagine standing butt naked in that weather.
I wouldn't want to imagine it either, man.
Maybe the dragons made a fire.
You know what? That's a nice touch right there. The dragons, that's what the dragons were looking at them for. They were like, do you want to make this, do you want us to set the mood for you, make it a bit more cozy? You never know. Anywho, right, so it pans over to a forge. I keep saying panned, don't know why.
That's a cool scene as well.
The forge was a kind of interesting scene. You have...
a bit of flight in between Arya.
Arya and who, sorry?
I don't know his name. That's the only character's name that I do not remember.
Don't know his...
I know it's Robert's son.
If you give me 30 seconds, I have no idea. Is it Gendry? How it's pronounced? God knows.
Sounds right to me.
Anywho, right, so there's a bit of flirting between them two. She has a bit of a weird standoff with the Hound, but nothing really amazing.
Just a little nostalgia thing, because the last time they saw each other was when the Hound was near death and Arya just fucking dipped. Just a bit of nostalgia there.
And he kind of gives her like a
also a bit
I was about to say, he kind of gives her a respectful kind of like smirk and then walks away, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like you learn it, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So I thought that was cool. She asks him to make a weapon. It didn't really show what the weapon really...
No, I assume you could probably Google what it is, and there'd be like some theories and some decent answers on it. But I haven't.
Now, just from what I've seen, it just looked.
Maybe it was an arrowhead.
You know what? It looked like to me a ballistic knife. Which,
really?
That's what it looked like to me, and that slightly may make sense. Now, if she's expecting to fight White Walkers, and he's gonna make a ballistic knife out of dragon glass, is it called?
Yeah,
so he's gonna make a knife that she can shoot. Don't hold me to that. That's just what it looked like to me. That would be kind of cool if she's gonna use that to attempt to assassinate a certain target. I don't know, or do something with it. That'd be kind of interesting. She's got her own plans, but no one knows really what she's going to attempt to do. But it's kind of cool to see that she's got her own sort of... Everyone's on the same page, and then she's got her own idea, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Like, everyone is kind of, we're all going to fight together, and she kind of weaves in and out, which is really cool. And I think this season they're going to put a lot of emphasis on her as a character. I heard a rumor that there's a possible chance that like she's like a very big character at the very end, but I don't know if that's legit.
Yeah, she's been a big character anyway so far, but she had an alright season last season, but I think she'll get a lot more focus this season as well.
She had an amazing fight last season. That was amazing.
What fight are you referring to? The one with Brienne?
Oh.
Yeah, it was. Man, watching that as well with the lightsaber effects is actually really enjoyable. It's strangely enjoyable. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I like the actual fight, but I'm very 50-50 on it.
Yeah, I did like it. I liked the little flip of the blade and everything that she done. It just shown her little like... it was beautiful. Anyway, right after that, we jump over to Sansa in her little room. I don't even know what she's doing. She's reading. I don't even know what she's doing. She's literally reading. Snow comes in. He's like, do you trust me? She's basically like, of course I do, but kill yourself at the same time.
Typical
literally.
Sansa.
And he's like, we need more people. and titles don't matter. She's like, titles are the only thing I care about. And he's like, yeah, but titles don't matter. And she's basically like, shut up, titles matter. And that's basically that conversation over right there. Like, literally, like that whole conversation.
I think that's just emphasizing that Snow doesn't really give a crap about titles, and he didn't really care about being king or not. He just wants to get it done.
Yeah. And then we had such a horrible like scene, absolute brutal scene, and my jaw absolutely dropped because I love Sam as a character. I think he's so good. There's something about him that everyone loves because he's cute, and like there's something about him that just there's I think it's because he's a weak character, but he's also like not at the same time. And
like, no, he is. He's.
But he's not like a character that's gonna like kill or anything. You know what I mean? He's probably like the harmlessest character in like.
He's just a worse Bran to me. Like a more interesting Bran and a better character, but like as a role, he's just doesn't Bran. He's just what Bran is, but Bran is better because he can fucking. I don't exactly know what his power is. I couldn't tell you, but I'm just gonna assume he sees whatever he wants to see.
And that's apparently snow smashing, but so then I can't remember this dude's name for the life of me, but he had a extreme skin condition, and Sam cured it. And and he tells Daenerys, which was very respectful that he does. Daenerys comes over to him and literally thanks Sam from like the deepest of her heart. She says, I will basically grant you anything you want because you are a great person. He is obviously very humble, happy. He's like, that's brilliant. Can you just pardon me? Stole a few books. I also stole my family's sword. His
dead family's sword.
And she basically said, what's your family? He tells her, and she's like,
and she's already
she
killed
was
them.
like, I basically murdered them. And he's like, what? And he's like, she's like, yeah, they refused to bend the knee and now they're just ash. And you can see how heartbroken
this scene was really good.
Is. And you could kind of, in the same way, see the regret in Daenerys doing that. Because
they had sorry to cut you off there, but they had she had a talk with Tyrion, I think the season before when it happened, where he was basically saying it was a rash decision, this, that, the other, and that he wanted to talk to her about it before she decided to execute the two of them. And she kind of didn't really see where she went wrong there, and that's why this scene I think is so good, because now she's kind of reaping not reaping the reward, but she's kind of she's it's just karma, really. Like, she's kind of seeing where she actually may have been wrong now, and if she had listened to Tyrion to begin with, she wouldn't be in this situation.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean?
And you can see like
you
can see the effect that she's done, because she's now realized that someone who, out the kindness of their own heart, saved one of her people, she killed them with she killed his family with no emotion. And while she was killing his family, he was trying to save. Sorry about that. She was trying to save someone close to him.
I understand why she killed them, and it also was their choice. But at the same time, like, I fully understand every emotion that the characters feel in that scene, and that's why I love those. That's why I love Game of Thrones, but that's also why I love that scene particularly. Yeah, pretty good.
And that scene,
it's also like a.
Go on.
It's also a really good scene for trying to encourage Snow to actually take his mantle as king of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah.
It's a really good scene, because obviously Sam and Jon are best friends, or Sam and Jon are best friends, and obviously Sam, what Daenerys did to Sam is upsetting to him, and he's going to try and convince Jon, to take his seat now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So now then, Sam basically asks to be excused, and Daenerys is like, "Of course, I'm really sorry." He then goes out, leaves, and he sees your boy, I forgot his name, Bran. He's obviously
and he's still in the courtyard,
still chilling in the courtyard. Still not smiled, still not set any emotion out of nowhere, and Sam gives him the biggest blank look ever, like, what are you doing out here? And he's basically like, the directors told me to stand out here for the rest of the
sit out here for the entire TV series. I am gonna be in this courtyard. You know where to find me. It's an unmovable NPC.
It's perfect.
No emotion as well.
He reminds me of like a Mass Effect Andromeda character, how like like it barely looks like his mouth's moving, and he's just hitting with like no emotion.
Just give him a marker above his head that says he's a quest giver, and we're on the road track.
We literally are. And then basically he tells Sam that he needs to tell Snow that he is the rightful heir to the throne, and Sam's like, no, you do it, and he's like, no, you're his best friend and you're the only person that he will fully trust, which definitely probably believable, maybe.
I don't know. I think if it came from Bran, maybe I thought that would be better, especially considering the emotion Sam's going through now. You'd understandable to see why he would lie about something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But I think either source would have been fine.
Yeah, I honestly expected both of them to do it. Like both of them together, so that, you know, they have like evidence instead of just like a straight up you're the big dog kind of thing. Anyway, he goes into, where is Snow in this scene? I know where he is.
He's in the crypt. He's in the crypt. He's found his crypt. It's the Stark crypt.
So he's in the crypt. Sam comes down. Is he allowed in there?
No, he's not. It's only family members.
Okay, yeah.
But obviously,
I was about to say, Snow ain't gonna care about that. So Snow's like, "What are you doing down here?" He's like, "I'm sorry, I know I'm not allowed to be down here." And Snow's basically like, "I don't care." And he's like, "Did you know Daenerys killed my family?" And Snow kind of seems taken back, but then he kind of does like, I don't know. It kind of was like a weird. It was kind of weird. It was like he was taken back, like he was completely like blown away, and then he was just like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, but there's not really much we can do."
Yeah.
And it's like,
well, I mean, like, here's the thing as well, though, right? Like, I understand where Sam's coming from, but at the same time, you got to think it's a war. They was fighting on the opposite end of it. Of course, she killed them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then I was about to say, and then Sam was kind of like, "Would you have done the same?" And Snow's like, "I've killed men for less." And it's like, and he's like, "But you've also spared men for that." And Snow's kind of like, I don't know, he kind of like Snow's defending her.
Which he should be.
Which he will be. At the same time, he's not like, he's kind of not taking sides, but at the same time more taking sides on Daenerys.
Yeah, because I mean, to be fair, he should anyway. Just as a whole anyway, like, it's war, and you got to understand Snow's going to understand that. You know what I mean? He's fought in wars, or at least in a few battles. Like, that's what I mean. Like, it's war, and Sam's family was on the opposite end of it, and they also chose to die as well. Let's not forget that. Like, she did give them a choice: join her or die. You know what I mean? It wasn't just outright kill them; it was a choice.
Yeah. And then we get Sam basically say to Snow, "You need to take your seat on the throne." Explains the whole situation with, you know, his father. And that was kind of like a taken back moment for Snow, because he was like, the man I trust lied to me my whole life, and he's like, no, the man you trust basically was protecting you your whole life.
So let's go over this stuff real quick.
Explaining.
Yeah. So I just want to like take a second as well to acknowledge the fact that the thing that he was caught off by was not the fact that he's been banging his aunt this entire time. It was actually, in fact, that his dad lied to him, or his so-called thought dad lied to him about his identity, which I think I'd be took away a bit more by the bang in the aunt in that situation. So I think in this scene as well, like, I'm really excited for the next episode because I don't think we've seen the full length of that scene. And even if it goes into the next season and that scene's bypassed, I think there was more words said in that scene than we got to see. I truly do not believe Jon has just blown past that. But at the same time, I also do not think he will act upon that knowledge. And if anything, I think he will tell Sam not to tell anyone about that knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, as well, depending on how Snow reacts to the whole incest thing, will depend on whether he'll get distant with Daenerys. Obviously, if he's not willing to pursue that route anymore. But then she'll start asking questions and wondering why, because he can't tell her, because once he tells her, he's a threat to her. You know what I mean? He cannot tell her.
That's another thing that I was talking about to some colleagues at work. Now, Daenerys, obviously, for the whole of this show, has been working towards the throne. If he tells her that you've got to step aside because I'm actually the rightful heir to this, you reckon she's going to do that?
Hell no, she's worked too hard for it.
That was exactly what I thought. I thought that she has been through goddamn hell and back, literally done the impossible, because they said there was no way she was getting ships to even get over there. Got ships, got over there, finally got there to be basically told she's second best. There's no way. I said, there's no way. I was like, I don't know if Daenerys has it in her to kill Snow, but there's no way she's letting Snow be the leader. Either he backs down. Either way, that's what I mean. Either way, he backs down or something happens. But
see, I don't think it will just be as simple as him backing down. Though, like, I don't think he can just tell her his identity and be like, "But I'm not going to pursue it," because it will always be lingering over her that he is a real threat to her entire rule and everything that she's worked for.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think personally, he can't act upon it, nor he will. And he'll tell Sam to keep it a secret. The only thing that I think like will be weird is either whether he chooses to carry on with the relationship, which then this scene doesn't really matter if he chooses to until she finds out, or if obviously the idea of sleeping with his aunt disgusts him, he then kind of cuts off the relationship, but he would have to do it without giving her a good reason why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he can't tell her, wow, it's because we're fucking related, because as soon as he does that, he's basically just told her he has a claim to the throne. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if he chooses to stop the relationship there and then, and see the way that he breaks off the relationship and the reaction to the distance that like it gets put between them. Like I say, man, this episode was really good. I don't know what people's problems with it were. There was a lot of not speculation, but there was a lot of like questions where everyone was like, "Oh, what will happen when how awkward would it be when Daenerys and Sam meet and he finds out she's killed his family or his brother and father? You know, what will happen when fucking Snow finds out that he's banging his aunt?" Those questions, they all got answered in the first freaking episode, so that way, like, it's just gonna outright make room for the action scenes that everyone's expecting.
Yeah.
This episode was freaking great.
Like I told literally everyone who came up to me and was like, how do you reckon the first episode's gonna pan out? I said there's gonna be no action. I was like, there's going to be no action whatsoever.
There wasn't the reason to expect that.
And I reckon the next episode is going to be...
The next episode it's titled The Battle of Winterfell.
What? Are you sure? Because I heard The Battle of Winterfell was the following episode, the third one. I heard that because I seen a tweet saying that the end of April is going to be the best April ever because it's Avengers and the Battle of Winterfell.
Maybe actually. Oh yeah. It might be episode 3. Then yeah, you might be right. Let me check.
So I was pretty certain that the way this was going down was this one was going to be an answer question. The next one's going to be half answer question, half build up. Third one's going to be the build up.
Yeah, maybe.
Fourth one's going to be the big kind of explosion, and then the.
Wait. What do you? I'm 90% certain that Endgame comes out next week, right?
Yeah, Endgame comes out the 25th.
Yeah. So yeah, episode 2. It's the week. That's the episode before Endgame.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it comes out after Endgame, or the episode after Endgame.
Are you sure? Because it's still a week after Endgame.
I'm pretty sure it's the week after Endgame.
I'm not fully certain, but they already kind of set the plan for build up a little bit anyway with the final actual ending of the episode, and that's obviously when they head to, I believe did they come? No, it's not Castle Black, right? I believe that's where they came from. I might be wrong, but that's when they discover the boy's body, and they basically let you know that the White Walkers are marching to Winterfell.
Yeah. So that's what we'll jump onto now then. So I don't know what this team's called. Let's just call them the Team Extreme. All right, so these guys are the
Team Extreme.
Right, we'll call them the Team Extreme. These guys are basically, like the White Walker hunters, really, aren't they? Like they're
no. What do you mean?
These guys are like the fucking beef balls, aren't they? These guys are the ones that went on the quest with Snow, and like
only one of them did.
What?
And that was Torbjorn, or I believe his name's Torbjorn.
No way. I thought the whole of these guys went with Snow on his quest. Yeah, little flame sword boy did.
No. Yeah, the guy with the eye patch.
Yeah,
just the two of them there. Yeah, there was 5 survivors and 3 of them aren't there.
Oh really? Okay, maybe not then. Okay, maybe they're not so Team Extreme. Okay, so anyway, these guys are going through. Where are they even going through?
Like I say, I'm not too sure. At first, I initially thought it was I thought it was Castle Black, one of the areas that the Night's Watch protects. But now I'm not so sure because I believe in the episode that they said that they just came from Castle Black or something. I'm not sure. It might be. It fully might be. I don't think it matters too much.
It was the boy, wasn't it? The boy that sprinted off with the horses. So where did he say he was from?
Was it the boy that sprinted off with the horses?
The boy who wanted the horses. Was the boy that was the boy that was stringed up. Yeah,
oh, really?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why. The show like it was, so it can't be that far. You know what I mean?
Well, they said that the White Walkers are between them and Winterfell, so yeah, they've basically got to be right outside the city. That's why I think the next episode could be the Battle of Winterfell one. I'm not sure though.
Possibly.
It might be episode 3. It might be.
Possibly.
They might take this one to prep everything.
Yeah, I think so. So I honestly think that this one's going to be a prep episode, and it's going to be like they're going to towards the middle of the episode, it's going to be like the White Walkers are blah blah away, and then you're going to watch them all set up ready for them, and then the next episode is going to be the start of the fight. Because apparently, how long's the fight supposed to be? I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be the longest battle in like film history or something like that.
Cinematic history.
So
yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's going to be about. It's supposed to be like 50 minutes or something, right?
I believe the next episode is like 56 minutes anyway, but.
Okay, so the Battle of Winterfell. So the Lord of the Rings battle is 40 minutes, but it's supposed to be longer than that. Doesn't say. Doesn't say how long it's expected, but let's just say it's going to be a long battle, I guess. How extreme do you reckon that battle's going to be?
So anything like the Battle of the Bastards, that'd be amazing.
That battle was so good.
That battle was so good because you got to see like more than your typical like what you would expect from a battle. You actually got to see like the actual claustrophobic, the bodies piling, the tight spaces. You got to see Snow in the middle of it with all the horses riding past. Just in general, the amount of chaos that was going on. You know what I mean?
And then basically, so they go through wherever this place is. They find this boy strung up, which was the boy from the very start. He then turns into a White Walker. They immediately stab him and burn him. They say that, the White Walkers must be how far away? Between them and wherever you said?
It's between them and Winterfell. So the White Walkers are closer to Winterfell than they are.
Yeah. So then they walk out, and then we jump over to a hooded man entering Winterfell on a horse, and no one knows who it is. I thought it was a girl at first. It had like a girl's physique. I don't know if it was just because of the hood, but the very end where there's a hooded somebody on a horse, and it turns out when they pull the hood down, it's Jaime Lannister.
Oh, Jaime, and he looks at Bran.
Oh my god, I laughed so hard at that.
So here's the thing. Bran supposedly, when he was a kid, didn't remember what happened to him. Whether that was true or not is, who knows. And even then, whether or not he found out now through his new gifts, again, who knows. But even still, man, that situation was freaking hilarious.
It was the funniest part.
Jaime's face when he realizes it's
the funniest of it all is literally Jaime gets off the horse. He's like, man, it smells good around here. It smells good. He's like looking around, and there's Bran in the exact same part, the exact same spot from where he was, at the very start of the episode, still there chilling, probably freezing to death at this point, and he's just staring down Jaime. And here's the thing, right? I will love it so much if Jaime goes up to him and he's like, I'm so sorry, right? And then Bran's just like, I have no idea what you're on about. Do you know what I mean? And that would be. I
kind of hope Bran forgets, because I don't know. Jaime's become one of my favorite characters, and I don't want anything holding him back in the previous.
That would be like an awkward, funny moment. But if that's not what happens, and Bran's like, "You fucked me out a window, you cock," I'm gonna love that as well. I'm interested to see if Bran has any emotion to the person that paralyzed him, because
he won't. He won't.
Because if anyone's gonna give him any emotion, it's probably gonna be the guy that put him in this state. But so, and then with that, they have their little awkward stare down. Did Jaime get a new haircut? How long does it take?
He just looks a bit old now, doesn't he?
How long does it take for him to travel from and to and from?
I think it's they mention or something like in the first season, I believe they mentioned something like it's I think either half a year. I'd say half a year is the most, and that was traveling with a full army. So I wouldn't even say that. I'd probably say 3-4 months it would take him to get there.
Okay. Wait.
Depending on where he rode from, I don't know where he rode from, but that I believe would be the time it would take him from King's Landing on his own to Winterfell.
Oh, really? That's insane. As if he made that journey.
Like I say, I don't remember if he came from King's Landing or not, though, but I think he did.
Cool. Right, and then it basically just ends.
Yeah.
And that's basically just.
It was a good episode.
I enjoyed the episode. I thought
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I thought it was really fun. I thought it makes me excited for the next one, and I'm kind of ready for some fighting, but at the same time, I don't mind sitting through another episode like that. I think it's one thing Game of Thrones does, and it's kind of like in the last season, I can say every single episode that I watched was absolutely amazing. It didn't matter if there was fighting or not, just every single scene just made impact. And I think they're trying to do the exact same thing with this one as well. Like every scene, every conversation, everything, nothing's just there for bullshit anymore. It's all there. Every scene is making impact to this moment, and that's what I love. That is literally what I love about it.
Well, yeah. I think in general, the main reason I'd say people were disappointed with this one, I guess they were just tying up the loose end questions from the previous seasons, that way they can get on with this one. And that being what happens when Jon finds out, what happens when Sam finds out, you know what I mean? And I think the real exciting thing, even if next episode isn't like an action episode, which, like I say, I don't really care whether it is or isn't, will be how Jon reacts to the news. And I think that we most likely won't get Battle of Winterfell until at least episode 3, minimum. And I think episode 2 will definitely be focused on how Jon handles this news.
Yeah.
Which will be amazing to watch.
Yeah. And, you know, I hope he doesn't just bowl in and paw Daenerys off and Daenerys is all uncomfortable. I don't know what I want from the next.
I hope he tries to play it off. Like, I hope he doesn't acknowledge it, but also tries to break the relationship off just to add more tension.
It's like, yeah, but I don't know, like, what is Daenerys? Like, I don't see Daenerys someone that, you know, sits and sobs to themselves over like a breakup. You know what I mean?
But this one's different though. This one's getting close to the dragons. This one like relinquished his crown. This one's special.
This boy is special, but I just can't see her. I cannot.
Well, even if it's not like a teary goodbye or anything like that, it will be still like she will have questions as to why all of a sudden.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? You got to think every other time that like in the show, every relationship that she's broke off has been like, I mean, like I say, Drogo died, and I think she broke off. I think she was only in one more relationship after that, and she broke it off. Like it's always been her breaking it off. It's never been someone else, and I think she'll be very curious as to why all of a sudden Snow's decided to after he gave up his crown. You know what I mean? Like she would need a good reason, and obviously the incest reason is a good one. But it's not one he can say without putting his life at risk or putting her security of the throne at risk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I imagine he'll try and tell Sam to just stop it, just not tell anyone and keep it to himself.
Yeah.
Sam won't like it because she pissed him off by killing his family.
Yeah. Yeah, possibly. Yeah. Maybe they do. Yeah, maybe they do like a little moment where Sam's just like he just takes it in his own accord to be like, this, and this, or literally Snow tells Daenerys, and he's basically like, we keep this between us only, and she's like,
I don't know. I think, I think that one really it could be that, but I think that one's like probably the biggest waste, if you know what I mean. That one's kind of just it wouldn't leave a lot to do. It would just be like, look, it's a secret between us. She's like, okay, cool.
So a lot of people, I'll only ask you a few more questions, then we'll close it out. First question, do you reckon, I'm going to ask you probably the same questions the next episode to see if you've changed your mind. Do you reckon Cersei's going to fight with everyone?
Next episode?
No, for the battle of Winterfell, do you reckon Cersei's going to come in and help? Or do you reckon, no, she's going to watch?
Help at all. Nah, she looked fucking mischievous. Yeah, I think she'll wait for cleanup.
Yeah, I've got a strong feeling that she'll wait for cleanup. Do you reckon Snow's going to sacrifice himself to save Daenerys, or Daenerys will sacrifice herself to save Snow?
I don't reckon they'll die in there. I don't reckon either of them will die in the Battle of Winterfell.
Okay. Who do you reckon's going to kill the
Night King? Well, wouldn't it be a fucking push at first surprise if it was like Sam Tarly or Bran? Bran just fucking rolling down in his wheelchair.
I would love Bran to actually do something.
I think my number one go-to of seeing them kill the Night King would either be, for me personally, it'd be Snow or Arya.
I was thinking Arya, and I will mark out big time if Arya does it. I think that could be a very special use of the weapon, but I reckon the weapon that she's building is for Cersei. Because Cersei's still on her list. The Night King, I don't remember if the Night King is, but I don't think he is. It'd be very interesting to see Arya take on someone's face. And it'd be very interesting to see if she can take on the face of the dead and trick the Night King and then kill him. That would be interesting.
There's a lot of possibilities that Arya has, and it'll be very interesting to see what she as a character does. I reckon she is going to be one of the most, if not the top 3 most important characters this season.
Yeah, definitely. And do you reckon Daenerys is going to fight in this battle, or do you reckon she's going to play more of a
Nah, she doesn't fight. She just rides the dragon.
Yeah, but do you reckon she's going to ride the dragons, or do you reckon she's going to play more of a?
She'll probably ride the dragon. She'll probably ride.
I was thinking maybe ride the dragon. But I don't know. Especially because obviously she knows about Mr. Olympic thrower of spears. I was thinking maybe she might be a bit more reluctant.
He did miss one. He is only 50-50 right now.
50-50, but he was holding his beer at the time, and then when his boy took the beer off him, straight 100% accuracy shot.
It will be... I reckon it'll be more interesting to see how she reacts to her dead dragon.
Yeah, that is going to be pretty insane, to be fair. If she sees her of a dragon, she's
in the hands of the
riding it as well.
100% is why I think she'll be riding the dragon. I don't think she can just sit up.
Yeah, I think their whole plan is going to be if they're going to actually bring a strategy into the battle, they're going to have kind of like a Viking wall. Kind of like, how when she attacked, was it the Lannisters? When they were traveling and she attacked them with all the Dothraki?
Yeah, with all the gold and stuff that they took from Highgarden.
How they basically had them in a line and then the dragon came and just wiped the whole line? I reckon if they're going to go for a strategy, it's going to be that same strategy again.
I don't think the Night King will fall for something like that, though.
But
he's attacking anyway. The only reason that worked was because it was a surprise attack.
But it depends, and he's got a big army, man. Like his army, his army. They said minimum massive. Like it's actually ridiculous. Like it's not like that's not an army you can flank. You know what I mean? You don't flank that army because if you're sending an army to flank, they're fighting a different army. They're not even fighting the same army.
Well, they already found out that if you kill the Night King, the rest of the army will die.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they found that out in the last season. So, I think their biggest focus is going to be on killing the Night King. And that's why I'm very curious to see whether Arya can disguise herself as the dead and go for the kill shot.
Yeah, so with that then, I'm pretty positive it's going to be Daenerys and Snow are just going to take on the Night King. All the dragons are probably going to die in the heat of the battle, and
I think all of them.
I reckon
that would be sad. But
I reckon all the dragons will die in the heat of the battle, and it will be Snow takes on the Night King in like a one-on-one to the kind of death, and that's where I reckon something might happen out of there.
So I have a question then. So let's go with the dragon theory, right? Say all the dragons die in this battle. Let's say the Battle of Winterfell happens on episode 3 and Cersei doesn't get involved. Who do you think they will deal with first? Do you reckon that they will kill the Night King's army first or Cersei's army? I refuse to believe Cersei stays as an ally.
Yeah, Cersei's abandoning that ship.
So who do you reckon will be the final antagonist of the season? Do you think they will be the Night King or do you think they will be Cersei?
I reckon they beat this Night King and then Cersei base
by episode 3, 4,
and then Cersei basically has a massive army waiting.
A full army, and Daenerys has no dragons
and
anymore.
It's going to be an even playing field, and then it's going to be kind of just like it's going to be
a really bloody battle,
like a battle to the death, and that's where people are gonna. That's where the people that you think, oh my god, he survived, are gonna die. Yeah. That's where I reckon Jaime's going to die. It's where Snow might die. That's where like half the people will die, and then you'll probably have Arya killer.
I'd very much like to see Tyrion killer.
Oh, I'd love that. Oh my god, I'd love that. That'd be amazing.
Like I say, I'm 100% right now for Arya killing the Night King and Tyrion killing Cersei.
That'd be perfect. That would be amazing.
I think we've done a good job here. I think we've pretty much killed it everything.
Yeah, literally, that was perfect. And we thought we wouldn't get through 40 minutes, and we've done like an hour and a bit. So that's awesome. Thank you for watching, guys. If you did watch, And we will see you guys next week for the episode 2 of Game of Thrones, and then we'll also have an episode of just our generic podcast for normally it will be released either Sunday or Monday depending on the editing schedule. So anyway guys, thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next chapter. Peace.
Bye.